Hi everyone, solving a question x squared plus 4x minus 2 multiplied by x squared plus 4x plus 5 equals to 8. Then we're going to determine what's going to be the value of x. What people normally do solving this kind of question is to multiply the whole of these parentheses by the whole of this. That is by saying x squared multiplied by everything inside these parentheses. Then picking the next expression for x, using it to multiply the whole of what is inside this parenthesis, that is x squared plus 4x plus 5. Then minus 2 to multiply x squared plus 4x plus 5. Trust me, this is not the best way of solving this type of problem. And by doing it that way, it's going to consume quite a long of time. By solving this, we say solution. The first thing we need to observe in the first parenthesis is that we have x squared plus 4x, that is x squared plus 4x, and the same thing is also present in the second parenthesis, which is x squared plus 4x. So we have something in common in both parentheses. So therefore, we can start by saying x squared, let x squared plus 4x equals to k. So having achieving this, we can write our equation like, okay, k minus 2, put this in parentheses, then k plus 5 equals to 8. So the next thing is to expand the left hand side. K multiplied by k, we have k squared, then the same k multiplied by 5, we have plus 5k, then minus 2 multiplied by k, we have minus 2k, then minus 2 multiplied by 5, that is minus 10, equals to 8. If I relate 5k and 2k together, I'm going to have k squared plus 3k, because plus 5k minus 2k is going to give me 3k, then minus 10, then equals to 8. If we go further by bringing in this outside 8 into the left hand side, we're going to have k squared plus 3k, then minus 10, then minus 8 equals to 0. Then this becomes k squared plus 3k, then minus 10 minus 8 is going to give me minus 18 equals to 0. So what I'm having here is a quadratic equation. So what I'm going to do is to factorize. Since the coefficient of my k squared is just unity, that is 1. So to factorize this, I'm going to say, okay, parentheses in two places. So my k squared is going to be written, 1 is going to be written here, then the second k is going to be written here. C equals to 0. So what I need now is to look for two numbers in which if I multiply by each other, it's going to give me minus 18. That is, it's going to be equal to minus 18. Then if I add the same number, and it's going to give me plus 3. That is plus 3. So what are those numbers? The numbers are minus 3, then plus 6. That is minus 3 plus 6. Okay, if I multiply 8, minus 3 times plus 6, of course, it's going to give me minus 18. Okay, what if I had it? That is minus 3 plus 6. Of course, it's going to give me plus 3. So definitely, this is what I am looking for. The numbers are minus 3, then plus 6. Putting that here, minus 3, then plus 6. That is, we are saying k minus 3 multiplied by k plus 6 equals to 0. So what does this mean in mathematics? It means that k minus 3 equals to 0, or k plus 6 equals to 0. So at the end of the day, I can say my k here is just equals to 3, or my k here is equal to minus 6. Recall that from the beginning, we've assigned x squared plus 4x to k. So wherever I see k here, I'm going to replace it with x squared plus 4. And that's what I'm going to do for the second one. So I say x squared plus 4x equal sign is still there, then 3 is still there, equals to 3, comma, then the same thing I'm going to do here, x squared plus 4x equals to minus 6. So I'm going to continue by bringing in 3. So if I do, I have x squared plus 4x minus 3 equals to 0. Then also here I have x squared plus 4x plus 6 equals to 0. Breaking this down further, we're going to have to use quadratic formula to solve both of them. If I move the second quadratic equation here, using this, x is equal to minus b plus or minus into square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So this quadratic equation, a is equal to 1 here, b is equal to 4 here, and c is equal to minus 3. Putting all this together in the formula, we're going to have minus 4 plus or minus square root of 4 square minus 4 into bracket 1, then minus 3, everything over 2 into 1, because a is equal to 1. So here we're going to have minus 4 plus or minus square root of 4 squared, that is going to be 16, then minus 4 multiplied by 1 multiplied by minus 3 is going to be plus 12, everything all over 2. Therefore we have a minus 4 plus or minus square root of 28, everything over 2. We have minus 4 plus or minus square root of 4 multiplied by 7, because 4 times 7 same thing as 28, and 4 has its own square root over 2. So we can say minus 4 plus or minus then square root of 4 multiplied by square root of 7 all together, then over 2. So this has square root of 2, while 7 does not have square root of whole number. So we have minus 4 plus or minus 2 into the square root of 7 over 2. Then bringing out what is common at the level of numerator, which is 2. So we can say 2 into bracket minus 2 plus or minus then square root of 7, everything over 2. So 2 is going to cancel 2. So the first two set value of x is equal to, x is now equal to minus 2 plus or minus square root of 7. In the second case, the value of a, we're still using quadratic formula. The value of a is equal to 1. The value of b still equals to 4, while the value of c equals to 6. Inserting this value into the formulas, we're going to have, that is the formula that says minus b plus or minus, that is b squared minus 4ac, everything over 2a. So b here is 4, so we have minus 4 plus or minus square root of b squared, which is 4 square, minus 4. Our a here is 1, then our c is 6, so we have 6 here, everything all over 2 multiplied by a, but a is 1. Doing this carefully, we have minus 4 plus or minus then the square root of 4 squared, that's going to be 16 minus 24, because 4 multiplied by 1 then multiplied by 6 is going to be 24. Then we still have minus there, everything all over 2, because 2 times 1 is still 2. You're going to have minus 4 plus or minus square root of minus 8, everything all over 2. So we're going to separate minus from these 8. If we do, we have minus 4 plus or minus, that is going to be square root of minus 1 times 8, everything over 2. And if we split that, we have minus 4 plus or minus square root of minus 1 multiplied by square root of 8 over 2. And square root of minus 1 is represented by I as complex. Minus 4 plus or minus multiplied by I, that is square root of 8, then multiplied by I over 2. But the square root of 8 is 2 root 2. Then we have minus 4 plus or minus into bracket 2 root 2, then I, everything over 2. This can be further simplified as 2 into brackets minus 2 plus or minus then root 2 I, everything over 2. So 2 is going to cancel 2 here. At the end of the day, the third and the fourth value of x is minus 2 plus or minus square root of 2i. But the first two values of x is -2 plus root of 7, then -2 minus root of 7. That is, x1 is equal to -2 plus root of 7, then x2 is equal to -2 minus root of 7, while x3 equals -2 plus root of 2i, then x4 equals to -2 minus root of 2i. These are the final answers.